Have you ever sat in a room where everyone else seemed to be moving forward, getting promotions, falling in love, traveling, growing, while you remained still? Not because you didn't care, not because you weren't capable, but simply because your season of growth looks different now. Maybe you're no longer climbing ladders. Maybe you've already raised your kids, paid off your mortgage, and now the house is quiet. Maybe, for the first time in decades, no one needs anything from you right now. And maybe, just maybe, that feels like you're being left behind. But today, I want to offer you a gentle idea. What if staying still is not a sign of decline, but a quiet act of love, of presence, of witnessing? Let's explore what it really means to watch others grow while you hold still, and why that can be one of the deepest joys of this stage in life. 1. The quiet power of being the witness. In our achievement-driven world, being the doer is celebrated. But have you ever considered how sacred it is to simply witness? Meet Eleanor, 72, from Derbyshire, a retired librarian. Her daughter is now a published author. Her grandson, a star swimmer. I'm not doing anything grand these days, she says with chuckle. But I read every draft of her book, every school report. I watched, and I clapped, and I prayed. That's what witnessing is. It's not passive. It's attentive. It's loving. It's deeply involved, even if you're not center stage. The truth is, every successful person we admire had someone behind them, cheering quietly. The cheerleader, the handholder, the home that never changed, no matter how far they roamed. You may feel like you've stopped moving, but your presence has momentum of its own. And that, too, moves others forward. 2. When letting go feels like disappearing. Let's be honest, letting go hurts. When your children don't call as often, when you're no longer needed at work, when life moves on, and you're no longer the hub, it can feel like you're disappearing. Take Harold, 68, who once managed a team of 50. Now retired, his days are quiet. They used to need me for everything, he shares. Now they barely ask. At first, it broke him, but slowly, he realized this was the natural cycle of life. He had done his job. He had released those he loved into the world, and they were flying. We often mistake absence of noise for absence of worth. But sometimes, your value isn't in what you do, but in what you've already done. Like a tree that once bore fruit, your shade now offers comfort. Your roots, stability. 3. Stillness is where healing begins. There is a kind of healing that only happens when we stop running. After decades of rushing, kids, jobs, finances, it's only in the stillness that the body begins to breathe again, that the heart can feel what it has ignored for years. Lucinda, 61, spent her youth caring for others, her parents, her children, even her neighbors. After her husband passed, she sat in silence for what felt like weeks. She thought something was wrong, but in that stillness, old grief surfaced. So did memories. Joy she had forgotten. She started journaling, started painting, and she found a new kind of growth, inner growth. Sometimes we hold still not because we're stuck, but because we're finally healing. Growth doesn't always mean building something outside. Sometimes it's rebuilding what's within. 4. You are the roots of the future. We often forget this. Every child who thrives, every student who excels, every life that blossoms, did so because someone planted seeds long ago. Maybe that someone was you. If you're a parent, a caregiver, a teacher, a kind neighbor, you've already shaped generations. Alan, 74, taught high school science for 35 years. He's long retired now. But every year, he still gets birthday cards from former students. One of them is now a surgeon. Another is a university professor. I didn't build skyscrapers, he says, but I helped build minds. You may not see the full tree, but trust that your seeds are alive out there, growing strong. And in your stillness now, you make room for them to rise even higher. 5. Slowness reveals life's hidden beauty. Do you remember what it felt like to sit on the porch with no agenda? To notice the sound of birds, or the exact moment the light shifts in the late afternoon? When we're young, life feels like a sprint. But now, you've earned the right to stroll. And in that slowness, you begin to see. Margot, 65, said something beautiful. I've lived in this house 30 years. Only now, after retiring, Do I truly notice the way light dances across my curtains? Stillness doesn't dull life, it sharpens it. It opens your eyes to the world's quiet miracles, and it reconnects you with a sense of wonder that busy days once buried. 6. Being still isn't being left behind. It's easy to look at social media and feel like life passed you by. Everyone's building, traveling, accomplishing. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Not everyone who moves is fulfilled, and not everyone who is still is stagnant. Stillness can be a conscious choice, a rebellion against burnout, a return to self, a declaration that you don't need to prove anything anymore. Rosa, 70, said it best. I'm no longer trying to impress anyone. I just want to be fully here. That's my success now. Maybe stillness isn't where things stop. Maybe it's where your soul begins to speak. 7. Your story still matters. The world may celebrate youth, but it needs the wisdom of age. While others rush ahead, you carry the stories, the lessons, the perspective. You are the lighthouse others look back at when they feel lost. Being still allows you to tell those stories, to sit with a grandchild and say, "Let me tell you about when," to remind others that it's okay to pause, to cry, to breathe, to begin again. Never underestimate the value of your presence. You may not move anymore, but you anchor others. So here's the gentle truth, my friend. You are not falling behind. You are not fading. You are holding still, so others may rise. You are the quiet one in the room, the steady heartbeat, the gentle guide. And in this stillness, there is grace. There is legacy. There is joy. I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced the quiet joy of watching someone grow while you stayed still? What did it teach you about love, about aging, about yourself? If this message touched your heart, please leave a comment, give the video a like, and subscribe for more conversations that honor this season of life. And above all, never doubt this, they grew. You watched, and that was enough.